Good morning.
Good morning.
Guess what today is?
Best day ever?
Yes. Today is the best day ever. Let's say that together. Today is the best day ever. I love today. I love being alive. I love breathing in that spring air. I love all the flowers on the trees. I don't know if you've noticed. There's flowers on trees. Now, I'm originally from New Mexico, and there's flowers on trees that I didn't even know could be on trees. I mean, they're like gigantic flowers. They're so beautiful. And everywhere I go, I keep seeing these little pops of color everywhere. It's so lovely. And it makes me grateful for being here, for being alive right now, for having the ability to breathe in the life, the love of this life. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for everything in my life. No matter how it looks, sometimes there's things going on that may look a little rough, but I know that it is always in the divine intention for the best outcome for my life. And it's good for me to remember this. It's good for me to remember that really all that's happening right here and now is love. Because God is love. And God is here right now being love as you, as me, and as each other. And so often I think, am I in alignment with that? Am I in alignment with the love of God? Am I in alignment with the love of God? There's this amazing master teacher. You might have heard of him. His name is Jesus. He's pretty cool in my book. I know we have some Jewish brothers and sisters here today, and I want to honor you. And I also want to honor Jesus, who said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might and all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." And I contemplated, why did Jesus say that? Why did Jesus say, love the Lord your God with all your might, all your heart, and your neighbor as yourself? Well, the truth of the matter is, again, that God is love. God is love. And whenever you are being love, you are loving God. It might be hard to conceptualize like God is the infinite allness of all creation, right? And that's kind of, maybe that's hard for us to conceive of. Wow, I want to love this God that's everything. It's so big. So maybe take it a little bit, take a step back and try and love yourself. As John was talking about, love yourself as in the I am. I am love. You see, God's name is I am, right? I am that I am. And so every time you say something that is in alignment with God, you're saying something I am that is in alignment with God, right? So I am love. I am power. I am grace. I am using God's name for the way God's name was intended. I am love. All of these are different ways to see God. And you see God in yourself because God created you and you are a part of God. You're not separate from God. You are a part of God. An individualized expression of God's love. You are God expressing as love. And that is your life. And you have a choice to be in alignment with your God self, with the divine beingness, or being out of alignment. And then that might look like saying, I'm stupid. I look terrible. All of these things are not in alignment with who you really are. All of these things are not in alignment with who you really are. In Christianity, there was this big push a long time ago, not that long ago, maybe like 10 years ago, and it was WWJD. Do you remember this? WWJD. And it was, what would Jesus do? And so everybody was wearing these bracelets and these necklaces because they were acting as if, they were thinking as if, what would Jesus do in every one of their actions in life? And so I invite you, some of you may not resonate with that, or some of you might resonate with that. I resonate with that, but I often think maybe the real question is WWLD. What would love do? So So in every action of your life, think WWLD. What would love do? What would love do? There were these 3 homecoming queen nominees at a Tennessee high school last month. And they were in alignment with this question, what would love do? You see, they liked this kid. His name was Scott Maloney. And Scott Maloney has Williams syndrome. And Williams syndrome is a neurological disorder that impairs speech and what's it called? Speech and learning. So Scott Maloney is a really friendly guy. And he goes to this high school, and he says hi to everybody, and he greets everybody, and he treats everybody with divine love. Everywhere he goes, that's all he does. And he is the treasure of the high school. Even though he may not be as developmentally advanced as everybody else, everybody loves him. And what these 3 Tennessee high school homecoming king nominees decide to do is they said, no matter who wins, we're going to give the crown to Scott Maloney. And on a beautiful evening last month, they crowned Scott Maloney with the homecoming king crown. And he stood there and beamed. He cried, and he got a standing ovation from the entire school for an entire minute. And you see, that's what love is. That's what love does. Love doesn't care about its ego. Love cares more about lifting each other up in the highest and greatest good. Alan wrote about his 88-year-old grandmother, and he talks about his 88-year-old grandmother is blind, and so is his grandmother's cat. And he noticed recently that his grandmother has a guide dog, and just recently, this guide dog started taking care of the cat. What happened is the guide dog would go up to the blind cat and he would rub against the blind cat, and the cat would meow, and then the dog would take him over to the litter box, and the cat would do its business, and then the dog would rub up against the cat when it was done, and he'd take him over to the food, and after the cat was done, the dog would rub up against him again and take him over to his napping area. You see, animals know what's going on. They know what love is. If only we could be that in our everyday world. Wouldn't this be a different planet? Wouldn't this be a world that works for everyone? That's our global goal. We're here at Centers for Spiritual Living invested in creating a world that works for everyone. And the only way we can do that is through the power of love. When you perhaps take the WWLD into your life, and let's say your supervisor yells at you for being late, think to yourself, what would love do? Or maybe you have an argument with your spouse about taking the garbage out. And you can think, what would love do in this situation? Or maybe your child breaks your favorite dish. What would love do? It's really an action of how God's presence is on this planet. And you can be that action. You can be God's presence on this planet. Because you already are. It's in your nature. It's how you are. Jesus said, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. Do to others as you would have them do to you. For if you only love those who love you, what credit is that to you? It's really easy to love those people that are being loving towards you, but it's not so easy to love the person that cut you off in traffic, right? It's really easy to love the people that are having that same vibrational energy. But you can be the change in the world by being the person that does the loving thing first. You can be that change in your life. It's not easy, but it's powerful. Because what you put out into the universe comes back to you. what you put out into the universe comes back to you multiplied abundantly. So if you choose to be the love in that situation that is not so comfortable, then you choose to put out into the world that this is a world of love. This is a world of love. That's how peace on this planet can happen. Through those little interactions that happen every single day. Jimi Hendrix said, "When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace."
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yes, okay. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Who said that?
I'd like to tell you a little bit about Heart Math. We've talked some over these weeks about the Heart Math Institute. They're here on the Peninsula, and what they do is they research the heart. There's all these experiments done on the heart and love, and how love affects our heart, and what that does to change people in life. So the Heart Math Institute has done studies, and they've realized through research that whenever you are focusing on your heart and you focus on love and appreciation, that your heartbeat goes into a very easy, effortless pattern. And they call this pattern coherence. And when coherence happens, and this is, again, you focus on love, then your heartbeat goes into this coherent pattern. We create in our bodies these receptors that reduce the stress hormones. And we release DHEA in our body, which is an anti-aging drug. So literally, when you feel love in the world, your body physically responds by creating an anti-aging response, and it reduces your stress hormones. So your love transforms your own body in your own life. And not only that, but the love that you have, they have this energy that your heart has an electrical field that goes out in front of you and behind you up to 10 feet. And this electrical field touches each other's electrical field. And so when you're feeling love for another, you impact their electrical field. And you can transform their body as well. So we're going to do a little experiment here. We're going to experience heart math. I learned this in ministerial school because it's so important for us to do in our everyday life. It's not going to take very long. I want you to just sit down. You're going to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and breathe in and out of your heart space. Let's do that together. And now what I want you to do is focus on a feeling of love. And it might be easy for you to picture somebody you love or an animal that you love, and put that picture in your heart space, and then breathe in and out of your heart space with that feeling of love and gratitude for that person or that animal. And now open your eyes. And that's it. And that little thing that you just did created heart coherence for you and changed your body. And as a matter of fact, we changed everybody else's body in this room. It's as easy as that. So whenever you're going through your day and you are having a stressful day or something happens, just do that little technique and you will change the entire experience in your day. We're studying this book, the book of the month, called The 5 Love Languages. And we've gone over the last 4 love languages, and we'll talk a little bit about language number 5. The first love language, well, let me give you a little preface for those of you who haven't been here before. The 5 love languages it's a book written by a therapist who realized that there's 5 languages that people respond to. all of these languages should be things that we do for those people that we love. However, there's one language over all the other ones that makes us feel like we're loved. And it's different for everybody, but it's one of the 5. And so the book invites us to do these 5 love languages with everybody in our life so that we can show the people around us how much we love them. And if we know what language they speak, then we can act out of love in the language that they respond to. And whenever somebody has their love language spoken to them, they have their love tank fills up. And when their love tank fills up, they can respond to you in a loving manner. But when somebody's love tank is empty, they usually don't respond very lovingly. So you think about gassing up your friends and relatives and spouses' love tank, right? And this is the way that you do it. Love language number 1 is words of affirmation. That means, I love the shirt that you're wearing today. You look very beautiful in it. Or it could be appreciating your spouse for taking the garbage out. It could be telling somebody that you're very happy for who they are, that you appreciate how they behave in this world. I love Donna's prayer this morning. She prayed up the room before we even started here. So think about different ways you can give words of affirmation for people around you. Love language number 2 is quality time. And this is what my spouse's love language is. And I discovered this through reading this book. And so what I decided to do is to have this month, which is her birthday month, to be a month of her quality time love language. And so we've done this entire month of having a birthday month of love. And we went to the improv last night. We went on a walk together. We went out to eat. And so I've done little things each time this month to have quality time. And oftentimes quality time means if you're having lunch with somebody, that you turn your phone off and you put it away and you look into their eyes. You're not having a text conversation, you're actually having a let me look into your eyes kind of conversation. That's what quality time is. Love language number 3 is receiving gifts. And again, I realize that receiving gifts is, people like maybe not want that as a love language, but really it's extra special cool because it's so easy to do. It's like getting one of these little Hershey's Kisses and giving it to somebody. Or if you go on a walk and you pick a flower and then you give it to your spouse. Or perhaps you're on the beach and you think of your friend and then you grab a rock and you give it to your friend and you say, this rock reminded me of you because it's so beautiful. That's what receiving gifts is. I decided to give a gift to Gina. So at work, I have, one of my coworkers brought in a bunch of lemons. And they were beautiful, and I took some lemons home. My colleague took some lemons home. Except she found this one lemon that was super cute, right? So she was like, this lemon looks like a squid, right? And I was like, it does. I gotta go put some googly eyes on it. So I went to my desk, and yes, I have googly eyes on my desk. So I went to my desk drawer, and I got some googly eyes, and I put some googly eyes on this little lemon. And then my coworker was like, oh, it needs a smile. And so we drew a little smile on it. And I was like, oh, it's so cute. Little squid lemon, he's so cute. So I took a picture of Squid Lemon, and I emailed it to Gina, and I said, hey, Squid Lemon loves you. I know, see, that's giving gifts, right? So I sent a little picture. And I decided to give Squid Lemon to all of you. So if you notice in your bulletin, Squid Lemon loves you all too. Just so you know. That's what the picture of the bulletin is. It's little Squiddy. Gina renamed him Squiddy. So Squid Lemon loves all of you. I wanted to give you a gift. As part of my giving gifts, you can receive gifts today too. The 4th love language is acts of service. And that could be doing anything that somebody wants you to do. You could wash a car for a friend. You could take the garbage out for your spouse. You could take an elderly person around to do their errands. These are acts of service. You could volunteer here and help us set up and tear down. That's an awesome act of service. And the last love language is physical touch. Babies who are held, hugged, and kissed develop a healthier emotional life than those who are left for long periods of time without physical contact. And so I invite you to think about what are the ways that you can have physical contact with people that you love. And that could just be holding hands. It could be giving a back rub. It could be just a pat on the back. But everybody craves touch. And I mean loving, kind, non-sexual touch. Just regular touch. Yeah, don't go around touching people inappropriately, okay? My minister told me to. No. I mean, just hold hands. Give a friend a hug. Find different ways to touch somebody that you love in an appropriate way. I heard Kathy Ann Lewis, and Kathy Ann Lewis said, every action is a call to love or a call for love. Think about that in your daily life. Every action is a call to love or a call for love. Perhaps that person who's yelling at you, maybe that's a call for love. That person who's having a bad day, maybe it's a call for love. And so it's an opportunity for you to be the love in this world, for you to be that example of love in this planet. I have homework for you today. You're supposed to, according to me, find out your spouse's love language. Or, if you don't have a spouse, and if you do have a spouse, find the love languages of your friends. Find out what they are. And then do one act of love in your friend's love language. One act of love. That's all I ask. Just one little act. And then our world will truly be a different place. Let's pray.